Lofi Poli Sci coming at you. Michael Pickering here talking our famous question. What's going on in the world today? And it's Tuesday and time for another Tuesday's Top 10. Yes, indeed. I don't know why I just broke in a song right there. It's going to go and I'm not going to edit it out. So here we go. Today, we're looking at 10 things the United Nations has done. We give so much shit to the UN for never getting anything done. I think it's important that we take the time to actually talk about the few things that they do actually get done. Now, this list is not necessarily in any particular order, nor is it all-encompassing at all, But for the most part, it's based on UN Security Council actions, but not exclusively. You'll see what I mean. And also, I'm not going to deep dive into all of these to say how successful they are versus how they are not. That would take way too much time. But you can deep dive on each of these on your own, or write in and ask me some more questions. But let's go, and coming in at number 10. United Nations Security Council Resolution 9 in 1946. It says that non-member states of the ICJ could use the ICJ so long as they abide by the ruling. And this one is extremely important because the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, is the only international court that, at the time, handles disputes between countries. And this court document right here, this resolution by the Security Council, it's saying that even if you're not a member of the ICJ, you can still use the ICJ to settle a dispute with another country anywhere around the world, so long as you agree to the ruling that it's going to provide, which means this makes the court way more accessible to every country in the world, expanding the court's jurisdiction. Number 9, keeping the peace with UN peacekeeping forces. 1948, United Nations Security Council authorizes the deployment of UN military observers to the Middle East to monitor an armistice agreement between Israel and its neighbors, and it was called the United Nations Truce Supervision Organization, and this was the official first time the UN had ever done anything like this. But it was the first peacekeeping mission. It was not the first time the UN deployed peacekeeping forces. These were military observers. They were not military units. First time they deployed military forces was in 1956 and the Suez Canal crisis. And the largest time they've ever deployed forces was in 1960 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They deployed 20,000 peacekeeping troops to help the transition from colonization to independence and the Democratic Republic of Congo. So 20,000, that's a huge number right there. And so far, there's been more than 70 peacekeeping operations since 1948. And that's the 74 years of UN existence. Now, number 8, global development, the IMF and the World Bank, 1944. Now, I know technically this is before the United Nations was created in 1948, but the International Monetary Fund and the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, aka the World Bank, are both today UN institutions, thus I included them. And really, World Bank is actually 5 institutions. It's the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the International Development Association, the International Finance Corporation, the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, and the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. And these all make the list because until these global development institutions were created, there was nothing globally that helped countries around the world to build for a better future. You know, the IMF helps countries with short-term emergency loans to help fend off economic collapse and crisis, and the World Bank provides long-term development loans to help countries build over time. So it's a big deal. Number 7, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, 2016. And there's 17 global development goals. And this isn't the first kind of document of its kind, but it's important because it's what we are going off of right now. This is still happening today. So here we go. The 17 Development Goals: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice and strong institutions, and finally, partnerships for the goals. And I don't believe I need to tell anyone listening why any of those things are important. Number 6, continuing efforts to keep the peace. So this ties into number 9 as far as peacekeeping missions, but I thought it deserved inclusion higher up on the list because these are peacekeeping missions that the United Nations has going on right now. So I'll give you the dates that they started and a brief overview with the locations and what's going down. But again, not deep diving because it would take way too long. 1999, Kosovo. Status of the mission? Ongoing. To stabilize administration in Kosovo as a disputed country. 23 years this mission's been going on and still going on today. 2007, Sudan. Mission status? Ongoing. United Nations African Union mission in Darfur after the Darfur genocide. 2010, DRC. Mission status ongoing. UN Organization Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Should make you think. The UN had a mission there in 1960, and they have one there going on still today. 2011, South Sudan. There are 2 ongoing missions at the moment in South Sudan. One is for disputed territory with Sudan, and another is the UN mission in the Republic of South Sudan, meaning South Sudan became a country just in 2011. It's the newest country in the world. And the United Nations peacekeepers have been there since year 1 and are still there today. In 2017, Haiti. Mission status ongoing. UN mission for justice support in Haiti. The purpose? Assist in developing the Haitian National Police, strengthen Haitian rule of law, strengthen judicial and prison system, and promote and protect human rights. So yeah, Kosovo, Sudan, the DRC, South Sudan, Haiti, all places the United Nations currently has peacekeeping forces. Now let's switch gears to the second half of our list. And coming in at number 5, the UN Millennium Goals. Development Goals. Started in 2000, ended in 2015. 8 goals that would eventually be expanded into the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Let's go. Eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Achieve universal primary education. Promote gender equality and empower women. Reduce child mortality and improve maternal health. Combat HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. Ensure environmental sustainability. And global partnership for development. And again, you know why these are important. No need for me to tell you anymore. Number 4, the First Earth Summit, the Stockholm Summit of 1972. And do you think climate change is a big deal? ? Well, so does the UN. Since 1972, in fact, 50 years ago, we started tackling this problem as a global community. And without the UN, there's no way we could have really done that. Even with all the headaches that come with it, I know. Number 3, 1968, the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Although I know after its creation, there are still 4 more countries that have obtained nuclear weapons that in effect broke the treaty. That'd be Israel, India, Pakistan, North Korea. And in total today, there are 9 countries that have nuclear weapons. Those 4 plus the US, UK, France, Russia, and China. And honestly, in over 50 years since signing this treaty, keeping the number of countries with nuclear weapons to only 9, when there's about 200 countries in the world? Well, take from that what you will. Number 2, the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948. I shouldn't have to tell you why this one's important either, but I'm going to. Never before in all of human history had there been a document that declared that all human beings on Earth were free and equal. Not at the global level. Now, is this document flawed? Yes. Was the implementation flawed? Most definitely. And did every member country of the UN even sign it? Hell no! But it does not take away from the fact of what this truly is and what it's come to truly represent. Humanity starting to turn away from slavery and servitude and authoritarianism. It's a process, and it is not at all finished. There's a lot of work to be done. But this is where it got started. And number one, preventing World War III. I mean, what more can we say? The predecessor of the United Nations is the League of Nations, created after World War I, and it was created to stop from having World War II, and it failed, and so the organization was dissolved. The United Nations was born after World War II to stop World War III. And 74 years have passed since. Now, is the world a perfect place? No. Does war still take place? For sure. But has the United Nations expanded its original purpose to accomplish so much more? Yeah, it has. And if you're sitting in a developed, rich, industrial, democratic country, the United Nations may not be something you think about all that much, because your own government provides most of the things that you want, and even some of the things that you don't want, but we're not going there. But the majority of the 200 countries in the world are still developing, and the United Nations plays a major role in helping a lot of those people. And these are just 10 of the things that the UN does. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Check out lofipolisci.com. The music, the episodes, the blogs, the letters, the art. Add us on all the socials, people. Hit us up. And it's not a cliche or a catchphrase. It's a lifestyle. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Talk to you soon, Lofi listeners. Pickering, signing off.